love you.
All right, I'm also paying information. You know where Kenny the Jet Smith at?
Yes, I got Kenny too. I know exactly where he's at.
Okay, now this one right here gets you going back. I'm gonna get you some motherfucking big dollars. Do you know where Ernie Johnson is at?
Ooh, let me work on that one right quick. That's a tough one.
Alright, and remember, I'm paying top dollar for all that information. Love you, boy. Hey, don't tell nobody.
Alright,
Shannon Sharpe is not staying quiet anymore. He's going straight after Shaquille O'Neal. This has nothing to do with basketball. It's much deeper, messier, and way more personal.
Back in the chat?
No, he on IG. I've never professed. I've never professed that I was as great as Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say,
yes, sir.
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. Now,
yes,
Shaq has been the one to say it. That he didn't work as hard, he didn't train as hard, he didn't eat as well as he should have.
Right.
Shaq is the one that anytime someone wins an MVP, he talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash.
People are talking. Shaq might have hit Shannon Sharpe with a shocking $50 million lawsuit right when Shannon was about to sign a huge $100 million deal with ESPN. Sounds like bad timing, right? But some people think it's not just random. They believe this lawsuit didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It came exactly when Shannon was about to make a big move. Suddenly, Shannon walks away from the deal. That can't be a coincidence. This could be Shaq's way of getting revenge. These two have been throwing shots at each other for years.
That man said he'll give you a chance.
You think Jay-Z or
probably not a good time right now.
You're silly, man. You're silly, man. You're silly, man.
Go see if you can fix the wall, will you, Shaq?
The wall, man.
Yeah. Here, back here.
I'll
go.
Man.
I can fix the wall.
Point was,
too soon, kid.
My point was.
Alright, and remember, I'm paying top dollar for all that information. Love you, boy. Hey, don't tell nobody.
Alright, one.
Alright, go.
It looks like Shaq has been making secret moves behind the scenes, and things are getting really messy. Word on the street is there's a leaked audio going around where Shaquille O'Neal is allegedly asking people to find dirt on Shannon Sharpe. Yep, Shaq was reportedly digging into Shannon's past, trying to find old secrets, and rumor has it he actually found something big, something bad enough to seriously shake up Shannon's whole life. But that's not the end of it. There's a lawsuit connected to a woman named Gabriella Zika. Insiders say she's not even the first woman Shaq used in this kind of setup, apparently. There was another case before this one, and guess what? Shaq's name was all over that. Situation 2. This whole thing is starting to look like a trap, and Shannon Sharpe might have walked right into it. Now, more and more receipts are popping up, and it's not looking good. Let's get into the part where it really heats up. Matt Barnes. Back in early 2022, Matt was just living his life, staying in the sports world. Out of nowhere, an audio clip started spreading like wildfire. In the clip, it's allegedly Matt Barnes talking about how Shaq was ready to spend serious money to find dirt on Shannon Sharpe. We're talking big money, not some fake story, real hush-hush spending to keep it quiet. Where did this audio come from? That's still unclear. Some say it was a leaked private conversation. Others think it was caught on a podcast or maybe a hot mic moment. But one thing's for sure, that voice was definitely Matt Barnes, and what he said hit hard. Matt wasn't just saying Shaq had a small issue over some MVP drama. He made it sound like Shaq was ready to go low just to get back at Shannon. And when you check the timeline, everything matches. Remember when things blew up over the MVP situation with Nikola Jokic? Shannon Sharpe hinted that Shaq sounded a little jealous, and Shaq didn't like that at all. But instead of clapping back on social media like most people, Shaq played it smart, quiet, strategic, billionaire style. Here's where it gets even shadier. After the MVP drama, it seemed like things cooled off. No more online shots, no shady interviews. It looked like they made peace. But behind the scenes, people say Shaq was already working on his plan, quietly digging for dirt and waiting for the right moment to strike. It all adds up when you see how Shannon Sharpe was winning new podcast deals, prime guest spots, and rumors of a $100 million ESPN contract. It makes sense why Shaq would make his move in silence, applying pressure without making a scene. But wait, it gets even messier. Think Shaq had nothing to do with this? Let's talk about the viral TMZ video. This wasn't just any video. It showed Shannon Sharpe getting really friendly with a fan at an event. Now, Shannon has always been a people person, charming and easygoing, especially with women. And yes, people have noticed he often shows love to white women. Nothing new there, but this clip, it looked a little too perfect, like it was staged. Shannon's laughing, leaning in close, looking super comfortable, and the internet went crazy. People started whispering, asking questions, wondering if this was all a setup. And here's the kicker: right after that video went viral, the same woman in the clip, the story continues.
He came out with a diss track and I heard your response to it, but his was more, there's another situation. The passion of whatever, and I believe you caught it straight, because I don't think you was in essence talking about it more so than Gilbert. You did, and then it spun to that. Have you guys talked?
We haven't. Shaq feels the way he feels, and he's perfectly fine to feel that way. I said what I said. I still think Shaq is a phenomenal basketball player, even though, you know, he minimized my career. I'm fine.
Gabriela Zicka's name quietly started popping up in the middle of Shannon Sharpe's $50 million lawsuit. Let's be honest, TMZ doesn't just show up randomly. Someone always calls them. Someone points the camera. Someone wants that video out there. If this was a setup, it was done perfectly. They threw out the bait, and Shannon, just being his usual friendly self, walked straight into it. That small moment on camera might have been all Shaquille O'Neal needed to really start stirring things up behind the scenes. So who is Gabriela Zicka? She's the woman now suing Shannon Sharpe for a huge $50 million, and guess who her lawyer is? Tony Busby. His name should sound familiar. He's the same high-powered lawyer who took on Deshaun Watson's case. With all those women, he's even gone up against Jay-Z when Busby steps in. He's not playing, he's coming to destroy reputations. Gabriela says Shannon forced himself on her, physically hurt her, and mentally messed with her. She claims she's now dealing with deep trauma, stress, and serious psychological damage. These are not small accusations, they're serious and graphic. But then it got even crazier. Reports say Tony Busby has audio recordings that support Gabriela's story. That's when the internet really blew up, but Shannon didn't stay quiet. He clapped back fast and said, loud and clear, play the whole 10-minute recording, not just the edited parts. His response shows he's confident that the full audio tells a different story. Shannon says Gabriela was a willing participant, and that the media is cutting clips to make him look guilty. Things got even darker when people started digging and found leaked text messages. And not just normal texts, these screenshots allegedly show Shannon and Gabriela talking about some very extreme role-play fantasies. One of those includes something called race play. If you don't know what that is, it's better you don't. It's deep, uncomfortable, and not something to take lightly. Let's not act like this all came out of nowhere. Shannon Sharpe has always been open about his wild lifestyle. Back in 2023, when he was co-hosting the Nightcap podcast with Chad Ochocinco, he even talked about his attraction to actress Yvonne or G from Insecure and mentioned some of his unique interests.
Now, what you think about that?
I'm looking for a center. I'm looking for a center. Send me Miss Nasty B. What her name was? The one that you
Miss Nasty B?
Umbrella?
Miss Nasty?
Yeah, I'm looking for. I don't want nobody walking straight and narrow.
Oh, come on.
Nah,
So,
I want a center.
listen, I thought we is
The host of that popular balloon challenge show on Netflix has been making headlines. Yvonne, who's well known for openly saying she's saving herself for marriage, is proud of that. Chad jokingly said maybe she would be a good match for Shannon Sharpe, but Shannon, he laughed and said, nah, I'm looking for a sinner. Right after that, he casually dropped the name of adult film star Ms. B. Nasty. Shannon made it very clear he's not looking for a sweet, innocent woman. He wants someone spicy, someone wild, and he's not shy about it. That's his preference. And he's always said it loud and proud. Honestly, Shannon has never tried to hide his lifestyle. He's always been openly flirty, cracking wild jokes about women and even thirsting for them live on air. So now that Gabriela's lawsuit is all over the news with some crazy accusations, can we really say we didn't see this coming? Shannon has always shown us who he is, right in front of our faces, but people just laughed it off. Here's where it gets even crazier. Gabriela might not be the only one. There are whispers of another case, and this time Shaq's name is floating around too. Let's rewind to Michelle Evans. Most people forgot about her, but in 2023, Michelle filed a lawsuit against Shannon in New York almost 2 years before Gabriela's case, so technically, Michelle was the first out. Her claims, they were serious. Michelle didn't even have a big lawyer backing her, she represented herself. She said she was in a long-term relationship with Shannon for nearly 10 years. ending around 2010 because Shannon cheated. But what she shared about their breakup was shocking. Michelle claimed that after their first big fight, Shannon demanded intimacy when she said no. What she described next was horrifying, according to Michelle. Shannon forced her down and made her perform non-consensual oral acts. She said she told him to stop, but he didn't. It didn't end there. Michelle said Shannon then threw her on the bed and forced himself on her. And he allegedly told her, "I'm going to make it so no other man will want you." That quote went viral. But let's be clear, Michelle isn't suing Shannon for assault in the direct legal sense. She's suing him for emotional damage, career threats, and the pain he caused. Michelle also said that after she spoke out, people online attacked her. They called her a liar, dragged her name, and basically tried to erase her. Shannon, for his part, has denied everything Michelle and Gabriella have said. But let's be real, one accusation might just be a rumor, two? You start to wonder, but now there are 3 women telling similar stories.
Oh my God. You ever was at a Diddy party?
No,
Never?
I ain't never been invited. I ain't that big. I mean, maybe if I was in the position that I'm in now, but back then, no. I don't get invited to no parties, bro. Plus, I'm a homebody.
Do you like partying or no? Nah, yeah. I feel
I just like to be to myself, man.
I feel that.
You know.
I feel that.
At this point, it's starting to feel like we're watching the same pattern over and over again. And now, people are quietly giving side eyes to something that's been in the background since Gabriella's story came out, those famous Diddy parties. Now, to be fair, Shannon Sharpe has publicly said he was never part of Diddy's wild parties. He's always made it clear that he doesn't mess with that so-called freaky, cult-like Hollywood lifestyle. But when you look at the lawsuits, the text messages, and all the controlling behavior being exposed, it's hard to ignore the connection to what's being said about Diddy. It's the same vibe: power games, emotional control, threats, and keeping people quiet. And it's not just fans who are putting the pieces together. Remember that moment on stage when Jay-Z and Diddy's private conversations were brought up? Shaquille O'Neal was there too, and what did he do? He went completely silent, stood up, and walked right off the stage without saying anything. That move had everyone wondering, does Shaq know something he's not telling us? Shaq never said Shannon's name, but the energy was loud, like he knows some people living a double life, pretending to be clean but actually involved in messy stuff. Shannon Sharpe has spent years building his clean image, always talking about family, Bible quotes, and giving motivational advice. But these lawsuits? They're starting to pull that image apart, showing something very different behind the scenes. Sources close to the situation are saying Shannon believes Shaq is playing dirty, acting friendly in public but allegedly working against him in secret. While Shannon's life is falling apart, Shaq is out here cracking jokes, dropping slick Instagram posts, and throwing shade like it's all just funny. Just look at Shaq's recent Instagram activity. He's not stressed at all. He even made a joke about the leaked Matt Barnes audio, posting a meme saying, "Dang, caught again. I need that info. I'm paying $2 wild." Meanwhile, Shannon's world is crashing. His reputation is getting damaged, his podcast without Joe Budden isn't doing well, his TV appearances are shaky, and his brand deals are starting to disappear. Everything he worked for is suddenly falling apart. The craziest part? The more Shannon tries to fight back, the worse it gets. Every time he responds, more texts, more audio, and more drama leak. It's like the mess doubles every time he speaks. And Shaq, he's sitting back, chilling, dropping petty captions, laughing, and acting like none of this touches him. But here's the real question: is Shannon Sharpe really getting done dirty? Or is Shaq secretly throwing him under the bus while pretending to be innocent? And most importantly, can Shannon even recover from this? Or is this the end of everything he built? Let me know what you think in the comments. Smash that like button, tap subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next crazy update. Because this story is far from over. See you in the next one.